We step out of the house as mild sunlight radiates over the open fields. There is a light breeze, which makes me grateful Celine has given me this stylish red jacket to wear. I take a few steps forward while Celine is still locking the door and look back at the house, seeing that it is indeed a somewhat intimidating windmill. Kind of badass too. Turning around again, I glimpse a city in the distance and realize these two live on top of a very steep hill. The sea doesn't seem too far off. Looks like a 25 to 30 minute walk at most.
Come on, Spex,
She says, leading the way to her car. A classy, two-seat, 1930s looking, light blue Alfa Romeo. Wait, they have Alfas here? We get inside. Celine turns on the engine and whips out her modern-looking phone. She then taps play on said phone and, miraculously, changes by David Bowie starts playing inside the car, despite the lack of a radio or any visible speakers. Strange? She joyfully does a little shimmy dance in her seat. Wait, ain't no David Bowie here? Wait again! I can't remember my own name, but I can remember David Bowie. What's up with that?
Ooh, how I love this song. Do you remember if you're a Bowie fan? I know it's before your time.
I must be. I remember this song. It's on the Hunky Dory album, isn't it?
Yes, I adore that album. I remember being young and waiting in line with my mother and older sister to buy the album the very day it came out. Oh, I listened to that album to death. It would drive my father bonkers. Celine Agatha Austin, if you don't turn down that racket, I'm bringing out the bagpipes, he'd say. Hey, that's a really good sign. You remember something at least. Hopefully this is just the beginning, and soon it'll all start to flood back.
Hopefully, I say, less optimistically, as we begin to drive on the smooth dirt road down towards the city. I can't help but wonder what to expect. My chest feels a bit tight. I hate being this nervous. Good grief, I just noticed my knees shaking and I'm biting my nails like a wild animal. Real subtle, mate.
I can't wait for you to meet Darwin. He's really interested in your situation and wants to help out.
He must be a busy man. Do you think it's okay to take up his time?
Oh, it's no trouble really. He's a lovely man.
We soon stop at a T-junction. She looks left and right to see if there are any cars coming. She then drives off the road and turns right onto the concrete road. We drive for a few minutes and finally reach the entrance to the city. I lean forward in my seat a bit to get a good look, not knowing what to expect. To my surprise, it looks just like a normal city, with cars everywhere, shops, big buildings, shameless billboards, and most surprisingly of all, normal people. Okay, that sounds mean. What I mean is, they are human-looking people here. People who look like me, aka not cat-like, if that makes any sense. This place is so lively. There are people everywhere. They even have a Starbucks here. Whilst I'm marveling at the city, Celine stops the car. Ding, 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 I hear. I look in front of me and see a gate drop down from the left-hand side, accompanied by bright flashing lights, indicating that all cars should stop. In front of the gate, I noticed that there's a river flowing horizontally through the city. I was so occupied observing the city that I wasn't looking right ahead of me. Suddenly, the road/bridge that was on top of the river begins to recede. The dinging persists. I wonder if a boat is coming or something. All of a sudden, the water from the river begins to rumble, and slowly, from its depths, a huge hybrid fish tram creature the size of a city bus emerges. Riding on top of the creature is a figure wearing a spiffing top hat and a red and gold suit. It perches on top of the creature casually, rather like the driver of a horse carriage would do. The figure doesn't seem to have either face or body. Its clothes are just floating, and they're not even wet. The fish appears to be a living fish, but its insides are filled with seats and windows. I take everything back about the normality. This place is super weird. Suddenly, doors begin to slide open on the sides of the fish's body, and people get on and off. Weirdness aside, I can't help but notice how beautiful this fish is. It's a super bright raspberry red with beautiful white streaks travelling across its scales.
I do wish they would hurry. I don't want the bread to get cold.
Celine says. I look at her with an astonished look on my face. Big fish, I reply, not really listening to her. She looks at me, bewildered. She asks. I point at the big fish.
Ah, yes, big fish indeed. Very useful for getting around the city. Better than sitting through traffic, I suppose.
The fish's doors start to close and the passengers take their seats. The bodiless driver then flicks the reins and the giant fish slowly descends back into the river. The bridge/road reappears. Ding, 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 ding. The gate rises, the lights flash green, and we're given the go-ahead to proceed. Celine drives on and we make our way further into the city. I sit, zombified by astonishment, for a few minutes, trying to wrap my head around what the heck I just saw.
I know what you're thinking.
She does? You do?
Yup, that giant fish looks delicious. But alas, we are not allowed to eat public transportation, no matter how tempting.
I stare at her for a slight moment in obvious confusion, realizing she's actually being serious. I let out an awkward chuckle, hoping that'll be enough for us to change the subject. After a bit more driving, we turn into a road named Bozeman Avenue, where there are a few flat complexes. Celine eases up next to the curb. Celine cheerfully grabs the bag of bread from the back seat and gets out of the car. I follow her and look up at the glassy towers over my head. Each one must be like 70, 80 meters high. This is insane.
Come on, Spex.
You want me to carry the bread?
Oh, that's okay, sweetie. I got it, but thank you for asking. Maybe chivalry isn't lost.
We cross the street and Celine types in and buzzes number 57 on the flat building's intercom. We wait for a few seconds.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Darwin. It's Celine. I have your bread and I brought Spex with me.
Spex?
Yeah, the young man I told you about.
Oh, right. Wonderful. Come in.
He buzzes us inside the building.
Told you he was a sweetheart.
I give her an innocent smile and nod. We decide to use the lift, which has the typical music playing. I don't really know what to do with my hands. Should I keep them in my pockets? Should I rub them? Rub them? Why would I do that? I'm not cold. Okay, one hand in the pocket and one hand out. I feel like a tool. Okay, both hands out. This feels weird. Okay, fold them. That's better. Why am I tapping my foot? Is it hot in here? Why is my neck itchy? Oh, great. Now I probably look gross. Okay, back to hands in the pocket. No, wait, folded. It was folded, right? Maybe I should stretch. But why am I stretching in a lift? Oh, man. She must think I'm so...
Hey, we're here. Come on, Spex.
Oh, I say, awkwardly. I stop stretching like a buffoon and follow her through a bright orange hallway. We stop at door 57. She knocks 3 times in quick succession. A few seconds later, someone who I assume is Darwin opens the door. And boy, oh boy, is he tall! He towers so far above the door that all we see is his shirt and jeans. He bends down a bit so we can see his face.
Hey, Celine!
Hey there, Darwin. I'm very happy to say that your bread has arrived. Also, allow me to introduce Spex.
Darwin's smile widens and he extends his long arm to shake my hand.
Hello, Spex. Darwin Stewart. Nice to meet you.
I smile back and shake his hand. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's no bother. Anything for Celine and Alfie.
Oh, you.
Come in.
We walk into his cozy flat. It has a lot of headroom. Obviously. Seriously, he must be near enough 8 foot tall. I wonder if I should ask. Other than his height and outrageous wingspan, He looks like a normal guy. Say, mid to late 30s, short black hair, broad shoulders, a friendly smile. He closes the door behind us, but literally seconds after closing it, someone knocks. Darwin looks confused. He reopens the door, and we see a shrill, elderly, tortoise lady with a flower-patterned headscarf, a serious expression on her face, and a small basket on her arm. A tortoise. Of course she'd be a tortoise.